everybody, and welcome to the first non-musical Sunday special of, at least of the ones of my doing. My name is Dalton Suter, and I have a special guest joining us this week to catch up and bring us up on how he has been doing since he has passed the torch over to me. We have the lovely Mr. James Fisher. James, how you doing, my brother?
I am doing fantastic, and that is definitely the first time somebody's called me lovely, but thank you, sir.
Well, you are a very lovely fellow.
How you been doing, brother?
I've been doing all right, man. I've been doing all right. The usual, looking for work, doing yard work, playing video games. It's about
doing 14 podcasts a week.
Yeah, 14 going on 27. So many, dude. I had an idea. I was talking about it in the JRPG report Discord real quick before we get to catch it up with you. And I was telling him, I'm like, I wanted to do a general gaming news show, right? Because I've thought about, when I'm looking for news for this show, I'm like, man, there's so much other stuff that I don't want to bother the people on this show with because this is specifically for JRPG content, And I'm like, I should dress up like an army general and take a picture and call it General Gaming News with your host, General Gaming News.
That's so cheesy, it might actually work.
That's what I was thinking. Exactly, yeah. It's so cheesy that it would be like, all right, what is this about?
Exactly. And hope you don't get sued by the general insurance company, right?
Oh, man, yeah, I didn't think about that.
I don't know. It's the first thing that popped in my head was Shaq and the General. So that's
oh my god. So man, how is the new job been going for you, sir?
Oh, dude, it's fantastic. I have no complaints whatsoever. Things are extremely good. I'm doing the same type of work. It's just I can't even tell you how much better of a company, environment, schedule, and a few more bucks didn't hurt either.
Oh yeah, that never fails to make things better.
No, it's like, and I've told people too. It's like, working from home is a blessing and a curse, and I lived that life for a long time. So it's almost been a relief to be stuck in an office for 40 hours a week. Kind of just you get that break. When I go to work, I work, and when I'm done work, I'm done. There's no more late nights, staying away from the family in the office or weekends or any of that nonsense. So it's just been fantastic. Obviously the main sacrifice was the podcast, but, having done it for 2 months, I know that there was no way it would have been possible to do that during the week in addition to everything else.
Yeah, man. I mean, I can imagine that because around here, like as hard as I try in this area that I live, dude, good luck finding a 40-hour-a-week job. You know what I mean? If you don't already have one.
It is tough. It's one of those deals like you almost need a job to get a job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or they want you to be, what is it? What was the thing I saw the other day? They want you 18 20 fresh out of college with 15 years of experience of work.
Everybody's got that.
Everybody, yeah. I started at 5, didn't you? Everybody starts at 5.
No, it's almost like I almost view this new job as more of a promotion from my old job, whereas I put in the time there to get this one. That's really almost how you have to look at things anymore.
Yeah, and you know what? That's a good way to look at it. That is a very much I believe they'd call that a glass half full look at it.
That's how I choose to do things. And it has been, it's been very surreal to hear you on the podcast. You're like, this is like, and then now we're doing this podcast. So, but I just want to say first and foremost, man, you're doing an awesome job. And it's been a relief off my shoulders to know that the podcast is in good hands and growing and reaching new peoples, and the community on Discord's awesome. I liked it's not a shameless plug if it's your plug, right?
Yeah, why not? But yeah, I appreciate that, man. I've been having a lot of fun with it, dude.
Good deal. Yeah, but no, it's been fun catching it. I don't get every week. I don't remember to, but it's been fun to keep up that way. And now I don't have to search for news every week. I can just listen to you every week.
Yeah, I'll do the searching for you. That's what we're good at, man.
Absolutely. But yeah, thanks for having me on. It's been nice to disconnect, but I'm looking forward to reconnecting with everybody. Now, I took your invite, so I'll pop in on Discord every once in a while if somebody wants to get in on that.
Yeah,
we'll be there.
Yeah, and the Discord came about because like when I took over, I put a post out on the Patreon, and I was like, so like because I know that like I don't have a job right now, so I have a lot more time. I was like, is there anything else that you guys would like to see on here? And I believe I had 2 different people be like, hey, can we have a Discord channel? And I was like, yeah, I can do that. So
well, we had talked about that, late in the cycle of when I was still doing it, that I'd love to do that, and I think you'd even offered to be an admin, but it was just it was one more thing that I didn't have time for. But it's awesome that you do have that, because that's a fun little community over there, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, especially when I get them talking about music. I always love that.
You are a music guy, my friend.
I am. I do love my music. So there are a few games on the horizon, my good sir, that are looking quite promising.
There's more than a few, but
well, yeah, that's true. The first big one that I want to ask you about, because I have zero knowledge about this series, so I would like to get your input on it, is how excited are you for Xenoblade Chronicles 3?
Just a wee bit. It is. We've talked many times, but in the past, of how many hours I put into Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I finally got the chance to replay, part 1 they released on the Switch. That was one of those games that I didn't get to, on the Wii U or Wii.
Yeah, I believe it was the Wii U.
Yeah, either one. And of course, never have played X either, but I've been playing Xeno for a long time. This one's been interesting because when you get to this point in a series, just the announcement alone is enough for you to buy it. So I've been on kind of media blackout for a while, and I don't know anything. Like, even if you've talked about it, like, skip, I don't.
Oh yeah, you know what? I don't blame you.
Yeah, no, it's like I don't need to be sold. Like, I'm going to play it.
So it's that good.
It's going to be that good. Interesting enough, I also talked about previously that I did not play Torna, the DLC for Xenoblade 2, but that has been remedied, and I have played it and absolutely loved it. So I am ready to go with this thing. I pre-ordered it on Amazon, so hopefully it'll show up on my door on the 29th. I'm a little afraid because I did prefer 2 to 1, and I think it's going to be a little more like 1 if I'm reading it right. But I think it's going to be fantastic no matter what.
I've played a little bit of 1, just dabbling in that, and I think I did like the first couple battles, and it's definitely got an interesting battle system. It
is very unique. It is not everybody's cup of tea, for sure. It's auto attacks for your regular attacks, and you control, the more advanced stuff and party chains. And it is so deep that even after putting hundreds of hours into those 2 games and the DLC, I still have not mastered the battle system. Not even close. Like, things just kind of happen, and I'm happy when they do, but I don't understand it. I'll be the first to admit. I think sometimes it works, but other times you're just like, well, hope I can get through this thing.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of like MMO combat in a way.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's kind of the inspiration, but it's just its own little thing in a sea of JRPGs. It has nailed its formula, and I'm hoping that it kind of continues that and evolves the combat. I know the narrative's going to be fantastic. While it's part 3 and they're connected, it's still a whole new deal. I'm not sure the time frame that's going to be on, but very, very excited to say the least.
Well, that's what's up, man. Also, so I'm sure you'll be happy to know this, sir. Not only are we playing, or not only am I doing the Final Fantasy VI Let's Play for the Patreon, so I'm playing through Final Fantasy VI. Steam Machine is now currently playing through Final Fantasy VII.
Oh.
So I've never beaten either of those, so I'll get to beat both of those games.
So you're playing them at the same time?
I might I might like take a break from 6 to do 7 and then go back to 6 so I don't burn out on both of them. Just from grinding and stuff, but it's they're both really good so far. 6, I want to admit that 6 took me a little bit to get once it started getting rolling. But once it did, I was like, okay, let's see where this goes.
Okay.
And it was very reminiscent to me of how I felt when I played the first Trails in the Sky.
Yeah.
Where I was like, okay, this looks really cute, but like, what's actually happening? But when stuff started happening, it was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of a train ride you don't want to get off of just from the narrative standpoint.
Yeah.
I guess you're playing the Pixel remaster?
No.
Oh.
No, so I bought Final Fantasy VI on Steam before they took it off and put up only the Pixel remaster. And fun fact that I shared on the Steam machine is when I loaded up Final Fantasy VI, I got an achievement called thanks for playing or something like that. And it was like, thank you for buying our game. Please enjoy. I'm one of the last people that'll ever get that achievement because that version of the game is no longer available on Steam.
Exactly. Yeah, there can't be too many people that's just in the backlog waiting to go.
I think I was 94% of players have this achievement. So there's like a 6% people that have never opened it.
Interesting. Wow. So I know there were some differences in it. I don't know if you're getting the superior version or how it would compare, but it's the same game, obviously, just going to be some graphical differences.
Yeah. So 6 was on Steam was a port of the mobile version.
Okay.
But I used mods to make it look better.
Okay.
I think it changed the sprites to like a more cleaner version. I mean, it's still the bright, that style that was kind of like in the mobile version, but it's just a cleaned up version of it, and just it looks nice.
Yeah, I'm definitely I'm hoping that they will finally put those on Switch, because that would probably be the way I'd like to pick those up.
Wow, they're not on Switch?
The Pixels are not, no.
Wow.
There's no way of playing it. It's not even on Nintendo Online, which is baffling to me.
That's really strange.
Yeah. The only Super Nintendo JRPG that they have that you can play for the Nintendo Online is Earthbound.
Oh man, I figured they would have added more since the last time I checked it. That's kind of a bummer.
It's a big bummer. I was curious. I fired it up the other day and I was like, I wonder what they got on there. Oh, well, this is pretty meager. Yeah. I'm not sure what's going on with that.
I need to look up the new PlayStation thing when they're adding all the early PS1 games and see like what all is going to be added to that.
I'm assuming it's everything at some point.
I would hope, if they could go the route. I mean, because, Game Pass, the way it works on Xbox is they'll put up games, but they'll cycle older games off and then they'll kind of like re-put them up there every now and then. I don't know if Sony's going to do that or if Sony's just going to be like, you're paying us $120. Here is this.
Since they're, trying, and it hasn't happened yet, but, talks of taking the PS3 and Vita stores down. Like, if you're going to limit access that way, you need to enable it a different way.
Yeah, 100%. But I would really like to see them bring some of those older JRPGs that like I didn't get to play as a kid, like As Your Dreams, things like what was the other one? Parasite Eve. I never got to play Parasite Eve.
Oh man, that's they can. I hope they bring those back, but they've got to do something because those games are going to be unplayable on his TV.
Right.
Quality. I mean, Parasite Eve was so jaggy. Even in my mind's eye. So I can't, I don't want to see that thing on a 55-inch. It would look terrible.
I tell you what, I think this TV I have in my room, that's like an actual TV and not my computer monitors, is like, I don't know, 32.
Mm-hmm.
It's not super huge or anything. I loaded up, not Valkyrie Profile. Is it Vagrant Story with Ashley?
Okay.
I just wanted to see what it looked like. That game. Brother, that game has a lot of jagged edges too.
Yeah, it was pretty brown back then, so I can only imagine what it's like now. I didn't care for that game, by the way. Just fun fact.
Oh no, I've heard the story's really good, but I've never heard anyone talk about the gameplay, which makes me wonder if the gameplay's not great, but the story's just really good.
I just thought it was broken. Like I couldn't play it, so I don't know. Maybe if I gave it another chance, I might be able to now. But at the time, I couldn't play it.
So. Cycling back real quick to Final Fantasy VII. So where I'm at in the game, in the original, I just got Nanaki, Red 13. And I made my way up to the top of the Shinra building and had the talk with the people. And then I was in the jail.
Okay.
Right. And then when the jail opens, and then I saved right there because I was gaming with Nate and Willie last night.
Okay.
But I'm assuming that's the first time that you meet old Right.
That is literally when it hits the fan. That is the moment.
Amazing.
There's, some blood trails and, you got eerie music going on the whole time. He's about to make his, appearance. So
awesome.
Yeah, you were. I'll give you kudos for stopping at that point because I don't know if I could have done that.
It was only because Nate and Willie were waiting on me to be like, "All right, let's game," and I'm like, "Okay, hold on, I have to find a save point."
Yeah, I get that.
But man, I'm definitely gonna dive into more of that today because it's picking up, and I'm enjoying it more than I thought I was going to.
Mm-hmm.
I am using mods to make the character models look a little better. I'll send you some screenshots so you can see Cloud not look so polygonal.
I was about to say not to look like he has rectangles for forearms.
No, no. They based, I don't know how to describe it. They're like bigger character models than the chibi almost of the original, but they're more proportioned like normal humans.
Okay.
And they almost have like an anime look to them in a way. I'll have to take, like I said, I'll take some screenshots and I'll post them in the Discord.
That'd be good. Yeah, I'd love to see what they did because there's, I wouldn't want to see too much change, but yeah, just not as blocky would be. I guess more like 8 or 9's look, but with those characters.
Yeah, that's kind of what they're going for. Yeah,
okay.
I think.
I guess it probably have to be more like 9 with a little bit squattier than 8's like tall and lanky.
Yeah, it's almost like a combo of both.
Okay.
And then I think they based Cloud's look off of his Advent Children outfit. Nice. So like his outfit isn't quite as bright purple.
Yeah. I mean, there's something to be said about the original, but Advent was probably superior. Yeah.
Oh yeah. But the original Final Fantasy, like even like for its time, dude, that game looked really good, especially for the pre-rendered background stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
Chef's kiss. So at what point in the original Final Fantasy VII is it going to be safe for me to load up Remake and play through and just see how that is? Like, I don't want to beat it yet, but
so Remake goes until you leave Midgar. So that's basically it. Once you get, and then with Intermission, they did add 1 or 2 little extra scenes that you see kind of in the town past after you leave Midgar, but that's as far as it gets.
Okay.
You'll know, yeah, when you finally exit and you're finally on the open world of 7, the original, then you're good to go. Awesome.
Yeah, because I just want to like load it up and see this combat system that I hear everyone rave about, and then I want to see these graphics I hear everyone rave about. But I've been holding off because I had never gotten through 7, the original. So
I would absolutely anybody I would recommend to play the original first, at least to that point. Yeah, that'd be a good comparison because you're going to take 6 or 7 hours of original gameplay and then stretch it into 20, 25. So it's going to take you a lot longer to get through Remake than the original.
Oh yeah, and that's why I was like, I'm not going to focus on beating Remake, but I want to know. I have to scratch this itch that has just been itching since it came out.
Yeah, it is phenomenal in every stretch. Obviously, I would prefer it if they kept turn-based. That would have been my preference. But what they did for an action battle system was phenomenal.
They did some sort of like pseudo turn-based thing too, like they did in 15, right? Where you could like, when you weren't moving, everything paused.
It just plays it for you, basically.
Oh.
Yeah. What it'll do is a semi like Xenoblade, where it auto regular attacks, and then you just control, your more advanced options, your limit breaks, and all the special moves and magic. But it's good. But eventually, I took it over and wanted to play on my own.
And that leads me to, so which one do you want to talk about first? Do you want to talk about Remake Part 2? You want to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, we can go into Rebirth. I guess that's a natural transition.
Okay. You know a lot more about Final Fantasy VII than me. So, do you think that this going to be the disc 2 of Remake in a sense?
In a sense, I believe. Well, I mean, we didn't even get really to the end of disc 1 with Remake. So it's kind of going to be the end of disc 1 into disc 2. There's a lot of speculation out there about how far they're going to go with it. I guess the last interview I saw, they actually considered making it a 2-part game rather than a trilogy. But that has been confirmed. It will be 3 parts. So that's good to know, right?
Yeah.
That we're not talking about 5 or 6 games of spreading this thing out completely, but
hey, I'm all for it if they do remakes. The original, okay, so Final Fantasy VII was 3 discs, so that's 3 parts. So then next, let's get Final Fantasy VIII, give us 4 parts. Then give us Final Fantasy IX with 4 parts.
See, I don't just on a separate tangent, I don't think they're going to do that. I think if they do remake those games, it's just going to be a remake, a remaster really with modern graphics. I don't think we're going to get the Final Fantasy VII treatment to those games.
Which is unfortunate because I think of all the games, 8 has so much to flesh out that they just sped through. Like the garden stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or even like what was it, Nord, whatever his name was, the weird thing in the bottom of Balam Garden.
Oh,
like,
what you're talking?
Where did
30-year-old memories or whatever?
Yeah, I'm just like, where did he come from? How all of a sudden all of that is happening, and then there's a big battle going on, and it just happens out of nowhere, and it's kind of just like I would love to see that stuff fleshed out, but I'm also a stan for Final Fantasy VIII.
Yeah, I think. I mean, maybe they could add some things to it, but I just don't think there's the world to flesh out that they've established like there is in 7. For them, it's special. You know, all the offshoot games, all the lore. Like, there's so much material for them to go into. Now, Midgar was its own thing because they really wanted to flesh out that city. I don't think we're going to get, like Gold Saucer. Like, that's not going to be 10 hours of game. It's just going to be its own thing, right?
Probably. Just quick side. I cannot wait to get to the Gold Saucer.
My fear is Gold Saucer could even be the last one. I don't know, but it's going to be interesting to see where Rebirth goes to. There's a certain tragic scene that's the main idea. That's where it's going to end at, but it's just hard to tell, really.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's hard not to have spoilers for a game, but the game's been out for a while, so it's.
Oh yeah, I mean, I would be surprised if I am not the only person who hasn't beaten Final Fantasy VII that is associated or listens to this show.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's like everyone's favorite Final Fantasy game except for me, because I never had it as a kid, so I never played it.
Why, or me, or the old school guys don't. It's not our favorite, but
I don't know. Oh yeah, that's right. Your favorite 6, right?
Yes, sir. You're playing it, so that's
yeah.
I'd say I'd probably even like 9 and maybe even 10 more than 7 overall.
Oh man. Well, yeah. Okay, I can get that. 10, dude. 10 is so good.
10 is. I mean, I just replayed it again. It was just as good this time.
It's so wonderful.
But so, I am excited that Rebirth, they say, is coming out in the next year. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. Whenever it comes out, though, it's just going to be another one of those. It's going to be like, man, I should really play a remake so I can play this.
So
Rebirth.
What did you make of the comment where they're like, it's its own game, you can play it on its own, like implying that you didn't need to play remake first? What?
That just makes me wonder if maybe in the beginning they do like a recap of what happened in remake, like a cutscene. You know what I mean? I really don't know, because other than that, I don't understand how that would make sense.
The thing that makes me wonder is, so if remake was in fact a remake and some sort of alternate timeline, whatever, there's a lot of stuff that you're going to get into when you play that game, right? Whereas Rebirth doesn't necessarily build off of that as much, and it's its own, like I said, standalone game. You just never know what these crazy people at Square Enix are doing.
Yeah, I see this article titled Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is no longer a remake and we shouldn't call it one.
I think I think I might have picked them on that as well. So it's not part 2. They made clear to do that, but
what if they were just like, swerve, we did a whole other game. This is actually Final Fantasy 16. Enjoy.
Sorry. There you go. Same thing. You'll like it.
You'll like it. It's got dragons.
Yeah. We might see I don't know if we're going to see a dragon or not. Probably not, but.
Curtindo podcast, né? Sabe o que você também vai curtir? Saber que o melhor flip de todos os tempos chegou. O novo Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 6, com Flex Cam, que tem zoom automático e faz selfies de 50 megapixels e com bateria estendida para nunca te deixar na mão. Vá a uma loja ou saiba mais em samsung.com.br. Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 6. Galaxy AI chegou.
And then that also leads to I believe it's the Crisis Core remake.
Okay. I don't have a lot to say about that one.
Good, because I don't. Oh wait, you say you don't have a lot to say?
I do not have a lot to say.
Man, I thought you said I have a lot to say, and I was like, oh, good. Okay, well, yeah, I don't know much about Crisis Core.
I mean, I know about the lore of it, but I didn't have a PSP, so I didn't play it. From what I saw of this new gameplay, I don't know if it's really something that I want to play, and I know that's blasphemy. I'm sorry.
Hey, I mean, there are situations sometimes where, and I'll use and it's not a JRPG game, but for the story it fits. I'll use a Plague Tale for an example. When we did that for the Steam Machine, me and Nate were playing it, and we were like, man, this story is really good, but this gameplay is just, So we ended up watching it. We watched a playthrough. I found like a playthrough with no commentary. And we both watched through that, and we were like, at the end of it, we did an episode, and we were like, this story is incredible. This should be a Netflix series or something. But we just couldn't get on with the gameplay.
I've seen a video or two of that, and all I see is like people in the sewers with like a million rats around them and a torch to keep them at bay. I'm like, that's terrifying. I don't want to do that. It's like a stealth puzzle game because you have like either of those.
yeah, you have to hide, but then like dealing with the rats is a puzzle. So like, yeah, it's interesting.
Ooh. And they've all got, is this like bubonic plague so they can all infect you with the Black Death? Okay.
Oh yeah, man. There's this particular scene where you're like walking through, I don't know if it's where they're dumping people or if it was a war scene or whatever, but it was just brutal. There's rats everywhere, and it's gross. Yeah, it's absolutely disgusting.
Was there anyone ringing the bells? Was there anybody with the bell singing, "Bring out your dead"?
I don't think so. That would be funny.
Okay, that was a Monty Python.
Oh yeah, Oh yeah, dude, I love Monty Python. You shall not pass.
We always get off on these tangents, but yeah, apologies to any Crisis Core diehard fans. There's people that's like, that's my favorite Final Fantasy. And I'm like, it kind of, so you can definitely see the inspirations in Remake's battle system. They definitely kind of look like that a little bit, in my opinion. But I don't know. Like, I know the story of Zack, so I don't feel like I need to play the game, but I've heard it's fantastic. So I don't know.
Yeah, and that's the thing is I know that from being in the world of video games for as long as I have, I know the connection with Zack and Final Fantasy VII.
Okay.
You know, so that's not going to be a big revelation when I get to it, but I'm curious how. Like, I never figured out how. I just know what it is. Okay. You know what I mean? So
yeah, it's like, I mean, they tell it during 7, but I guess to flesh out the story, it's kind of cool to see it all the way through.
Yeah, and I can imagine that when that game first came out, you know, obviously they're trying to push the PSP, so they're going to release, oh, well, what'll make people buy this? I know. We'll let people play as Zack. That's brilliant.
It's Cloud with dark hair. There you go.
Yeah. Let's take the Cloud model. Let's make his face look slightly less girlish. Black hair. Done.
Got it. Brilliant.
Perfect. Send it to press.
You're a genius. Give him a raise. No, I get it. Like, and I don't know. I'm glad they're doing that. You can so that makes me feel like this game's coming out first, right? You need to play that in order to appreciate Zack's role, whatever it is, in Rebirth.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see how that's going to tie together too. I'm sure the internet's going to have a hooey over it.
Oh, yeah. So you need to play through remakes. So you need to play through 7 so that you can understand what that is and what's going in. You got a lot of game playing to do, sir. Not that you don't do enough already.
Yeah. Well, at least I'll knock 7 out over the next month. And
okay.
If I end up, because I think we're going to do 2 parts, at least. At least,
yeah.
And if I'm able to knock it out, then I'll dive into remake, once I do that. And I also would like to, I might find a way to play Crisis Core, unless I might just wait until the remaster comes out. And
it looks like a straight up remaster. So I would think this would be the way to play it. It wasn't the best looking game ever. Of course, it was PSP. So
yeah, it was. I'll tell you, some of the PSP games that I've played that were sprites, like the Star Ocean First Departure and Second Evolution or whatever they were, beautiful. Yes. Some of the PSP 3D models, I'm like, okay, this is impressive that this runs on this PSP, but also,
yeah, it was definitely like what the growing pains that PS1 saw. Of we put this, PS1 almost PS2 handheld together, and so impressive, but here's the limitations.
Yeah, absolutely. So while we're on the subject of Final Fantasy, man, I got to ask, Final Fantasy 16.
So can I say, let me, before I answer that one, can I say one little tidbit about 7?
Oh, absolutely.
And maybe I'm in the extreme minority, but I'm actually looking forward to Ever Crisis. Or wait, is that right? Whatever the mobile game is?
The mobile game. I have not heard much about that. What is it supposed to be?
So it's a gacha game, of course, and it's probably going to be free. But it is the story of 7 in more like the original version, with some kind of updated animated stuff and a semi-turn-based battle system. But yeah, you're going to get to be able to play that. They're doing, I'm going to guess it's going to come out by the end of the year. And I don't know. I'm just kind of excited to play something like that and get into it. But I think I'm probably in the minority on that opinion.
Oh, well, this looks cool from these screenshots I'm checking out.
Yeah, like they got different outfits and stuff for the characters, so I think that's kind of fun. But the end battle system graphics look amazing.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at, is the battle, and I'm like, wow, that Scorpion Sentinel looks awesome.
Yeah, but like the cutscene, or not cutscenes, but like the gameplay with the storytelling and everything, it's much more akin to the original version.
Oh,
which is crazy that a smartphone is a million times better graphics than the Final Fantasy VII on a console that we played all those years ago.
Man, there are times like you can take a picture on your phone now. That picture holds more data than all of the Nintendo games combined.
Oh, absolutely.
It's
not even close. Yeah.
I think all the Nintendo games that I have that my friend sent me, like I don't know if he got it from archive.org or whatever, but it's just a collection of the US released NES games. It's like 600 megabytes.
I was going to say, is it even a gigabyte?
No, it's not. Super Nintendo is a little higher. I think it's like 2 or 3 gigs, but like the original NES is so small, and I'm just like, wow, some of these games are like a megabyte.
It's insane. Yeah. And I remember PS2 memory cards, 8 megabytes on this ginormous thing, right? I mean, it kills me.
This big hunk of plastic, it holds 8 megabytes.
Yeah, it ain't going to hold anything. It wouldn't even hold like 10 seconds of a song nowadays.
Yeah. And then like I have right in front of me a flash drive, which is smaller than a memory card, and it holds 8 gigabytes.
Oh, yeah. It's incredible. Like, I think I got a little micro SD, and I saw it was like 256 gigabytes in a micro SD card.
Yeah, insane.
Yeah. So not to get off topic, but I will. Okay, now I'll answer your question, sir.
Are you excited about Final Fantasy 16, or are you apprehensive?
Neither.
Oh, all right.
But you're not going to like this. It's dead to me.
Wow, really?
I'm done.
What happened?
Nothing happened. It was the exact same fear that I had the first moment that I saw it. Like, that game is not for me. I wanted to love it so much, and if I didn't have to play the battle system, I'd probably play it. But as much as as much as I disliked 15, at least I could bear it. But this is single player Devil May Cry Final Fantasy.
Yeah, the Devil May Cry aspect is going to be interesting. I'll probably play it because I really like fantasy settings. And when I saw that they were going back to a fantasy setting, I was like, all right, you have my attention. I don't mind the action combat as much as you don't like it, I don't think. But I have my worries. And it's more so like I really like summons. Like that's been my thing. Like in all the games, like in 6, I just got access to all the first batch of espers that you get.
Nice.
And I'm like, yes.
Oh yeah, they're so good.
I love summon. I can't wait to start getting summon materia. Like, I love what I always call them GF, Guardian Force.
I know you would.
That's just what I'm used to, or Aeons. But I really hated how in 15 they were like situational.
They were event triggers or something. I don't even know how they even worked.
Yeah, I had Rama show up one time, and I don't know how I did it. He just showed up, and it was cool looking. But I was like, dude, why can't I do that? Like, say once every rest,
or something, or a meter. I mean, so I at least know when I can trigger it. Something.
Yeah, because there's summons in that game that I heard are awesome. I've never seen, like Leviathan.
No idea. Other than in the scene in the city where it's going on while you're trying to escape or whatever.
No, I haven't even made it that far in 15, so I haven't even seen that. But like,
sorry.
No, that doesn't. I'm not worried about spoilers. That game's old enough that I should have beaten it by now, so don't worry about it.
Okay.
But it bugged me that I couldn't just be like, a meter that you have to, every time you get hit and you do attack, anything. It's almost like building up your limit break. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would have made sense to me. Like, those are your limit breaks. Okay, cool. I can do that. And
even if it was situational as to like where you were located is what summon you drew. Like if you were near fire, Ifrit shows up, water, Leviathan, or that would have been peachy. Mm-hmm. But the fact that they just happen randomly is a bummer. But they seem to be a very big part of 16. These icons or whatever.
Well, yeah, they do like the icon battles or whatever.
Yeah, and so I'm interested, but I don't know if I'll want to spend $70 on it. I might catch it on a sale.
Right.
I
can't. Like, and that's not so, I've played Devil May Cry. I like that series, but I like Final Fantasy. And I don't see the need to change the game into something else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We've not even seen a party. Like, you're not going to have a party even?
Yeah, that's the part that makes me most like I'll use the word apprehensive. I'm like, how do you not have a party system? That's a little odd.
Maybe they haven't shown it yet, but the battle system doesn't even lend itself to having a party either. It doesn't seem like that's going to be something that's a thing. Like, you're just Clive and it's his story from beginning to end, and the character models and story kind of almost remind me of 12 a lot too. So I don't know. I hate to hate on it, but I don't want to lie to you either. So
no, yeah, absolutely, dude. You gotta be honest with everybody about that's what we do.
I hate that it's come to this. I guess is the it started with 13, didn't care for it, didn't play 14 because I'm not online. 15 really didn't like, but at least I played all the way through. And this one's just like, well, this is obviously the path that we've been going down for a while, and it's here.
Man, I know you're not an MMO fan, but the story for 14 is so good.
I keep hearing it and keep not playing it. So
I'll tell you what, dude, you can probably find, and not that you would dedicate time to this, but if anybody's listening and you don't feel like playing an MMO, you could probably go on YouTube and find like compilation of story cutscenes and watch it like a movie.
Okay.
Because really, in between all the cutscenes, you're just going and doing MMO combat. And yeah, you might, fight Ifrit or whatever, but the meat of the story is coming through in cutscenes when you're doing these quests. and things. They're so well told.
So 14 feels like, okay, universal acclaim. Everybody loves it. It's more popular than ever. To me, it feels like popular TV show's been out for 5 seasons, and you haven't seen any of them. I'm that far behind, and I'd have to catch up. So that's like a daunting task with somebody with limited time and resources.
Oh, brother, you know how much time I have, and I've thought about starting One Piece, which, and I'm like, man, I don't know if I have enough life left to watch 1,000 episodes of something.
I don't think anybody does. At least they shouldn't. But
yeah, and I've seen people in like Reddit discussions that are like, "Oh no, if you haven't started One Piece, just don't even try. Just don't even. It's so much to get into."
I'll just play the game and whatever happens.
Oh, that game looks really good, dude.
Yeah. I'm already sold on it too. Like I don't care. I'll just play it. I'm good.
I'm the same, and that's basically going to be my thing. Is like if that game like captures me, then I'll check the show out. But
I don't feel like I need to watch a show even after playing the game, but I get you.
Yeah, I mean that's just me. But yeah, that game looks fantastic, dude. The battle system looks awesome.
Yeah, that's what I'm into. That gets me excited. Is something like that.
Yeah, and it almost reminded me of Persona's stylishness in the selection of your moves and stuff. Mm-hmm. Obviously, it's a little different than Persona gameplay wise, but just the graphics, the monster designs, I'm for it.
Yeah, it just screams like Dragon Quest VIII meets Persona's style.
Yeah,
with pirates.
Yeah. Ooh, and speaking of Persona, yeah, buddy. Yeah,
what about Persona? Did it happen?
Oh, I got goosebumps right now. Yeah, we all got.
Well, I guess
it
hasn't happened yet, but
we all are getting what we wanted. Persona's coming to PC. The older Persona's coming to console, and all of them are coming to Switch too. Everyone's happy.
Yes. Still surprising that's like it's not there yet. What we got to wait still for a 20-year-old game, but okay, it's better than it's never happening. That's for sure.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
I severely worry. They didn't say it's a cloud version of Persona 5 Royal for Switch, but how in the world are they going to fit that on a tiny cartridge?
Well, they just did it with Nier.
Okay, Nier is a 20-hour game, my friend.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Think about how much written and spoken goes on in that game. That's a lot of information.
That's true. But in the same vein, how long was Xenoblade 2?
Yeah, no, that's actually the first thing that popped in my head. But it just seems like there's going to have to be some sort of sacrifice, I'm afraid.
I bet it won't.
I'm waiting for it.
It probably won't look as smooth.
I don't see how it could.
You know what I mean? I would almost bet that the Switch will probably be based on the PS3-esque version of Persona 5, if anything.
Yeah, that was the thing that popped up in the comments. Like, this was a PS3 game. Obviously, Royal was PS4, but they could definitely go back to some old character models or something like that, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it's not a cloud version because I've heard about the Kingdom Hearts cloud version and it doesn't sound pleasant.
No, I think if you were on like the OLED docked, in your home with a good internet connection, I think it'd be just fine. But other than that, you're sure that's not a game you want to play on Wi-Fi. That's for sure.
No, not at all. That would be a time.
And I think they would have had to say, like, remember Kingdom Hearts? They said at moment 1, this was a cloud version. So I'm thinking Persona 5 would have had to say that if it was going to be that way.
Yeah, and because I feel like Atlas is always pretty upfront about what they're doing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel like they'd be like, hey, this is going to be a cloud version of this game. But they didn't, so we can cross our fingers that hopefully it'll be on a cartridge. What if it's 2? What if they're just like, this is the first 2-cartridge game?
Yeah, I doubt that. So the other parallel, the real parallel would be like Trails of Cold Steel 3 or 4. And the sacrifice in those games was docked at 720.
Okay.
So maybe that's a concession they're going to have to make as well. I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see.
Yeah. And then let's see. I only have one other thing written down here. I do have one quick question for you. When do you think that we'll hear more about Dragon Quest 12?
Never. So Square Enix has been so busy here lately. Like they've said other Dragon Quest titles, like the Treasure Hunters thing came out. We got Elysium's coming out. We got this version of Nier. We got all the Final Fantasies. You name it, Square Enix has announced it, except not Dragon Quest 12 and Dragon Quest 3 HD, which that's been on hiatus since it was announced.
I know they just went like radio silent on both of them.
Yeah. I mean, 12 at least you understand, because that's like they just, trademarked the logo basically and put some flames behind it. But I have a feeling that's going to be kind of a PS5 swan song, if I had to guess. It's going to take a while to get that thing out.
Yeah. Hopefully, I've been seeing a lot of articles about Square Enix wanting to dabble in NFTs and blockchain games, and hopefully that doesn't bleed its way into our beloved series.
No, I that's going to be a deal breaker for a lot of people. And honestly, I feel like by the time 12 finally does come out, like NFTs won't be a thing anymore.
Oh, we can only hope.
Yeah, I think that ship has already sailed. People don't want anything to do with it.
Yeah, I made one as a joke. It was just a picture of me in a clown mask. and I put it up for sale, and I haven't checked it since, so there's no telling.
Like, you're a clown if you buy this clown picture and you don't
exactly.
own it. Congratulations.
Exactly. The only other or did you have anything else you wanted to say about like Treasures or any of those games?
No, I can't. I don't care one bit about Treasures, which I feel bad saying, but it looks so hokey to me. I don't know. Yeah,
it looks weird. I'll give you that.
People who like those games, I think, are really going to like this. And of course, I wouldn't love to know more about Eric and Mia's backstory as kids, but it feels, I don't know, it feels weird. Like
almost like a kid's game in a way.
Yeah, which is cool, because there certainly needs to be more games like that to get kids into different games besides Minecraft and Roblox. Yeah. But as I was into my kid in the next room playing Roblox for hours on end.
Dude, yeah, that Roblox and Minecraft, man, they both like swept the younger generation.
I don't know. I guess it's just that you create and connect with people in different ways. So I understand. Like we're all longing for that.
Yeah, we had RuneScape in Farmville.
Farmville. All my friends on Facebook playing Farmville. That's
right. Will you water my plants for me, please? Thank you.
No, I don't want to.
Yeah, I know, right? The only other thing I have written down, sir, because I know that we're both big fans of the series, Star Ocean, The Divine Force.
Oh, I knew there was something else you had mentioned that we need to chat about. That's another game, like, I saw when it came out, and I think I saw a little bit of the last trailer, but again, I don't need to be convinced. Like, that's day one.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Same here.
I'm so glad it's coming out soon. That's pretty encouraging.
Yeah, absolutely. If I had an open spot, well, it's slated to come out this year, right?
That was September 29th. If whatever that's the number that pops in my head. So I may be wrong, but
I'll double check that.
It's super soon.
I wish I had another drop for my fantasy league, because I would draft that for my fantasy league, for the gaming fantasy league that we're doing.
Oh, you think it's going to do well? Is that the one where you like predict review scores?
Yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't do that.
That's true. That's true.
Those games get dogged on review scores, even though I like them. So
yeah, that's true. Well, I won't give you too much information about it if you're radio silent on it, but I will say that something I thought was interesting that I wanted your opinion on is the story being split. So if you play as the girl, you get a more fantasy based storyline, but if you play as the guy, you get a sci-fi based storyline.
See, I knew they were split, but I didn't know that fact.
I think that's pretty cool. Like,
but I mean, they're still in the same party, aren't they? It's not separate stories.
I believe so, but I think that they're just told differently. Like, so there's like two different pathways that you could take, I guess.
Okay. I guess we'll go fantasy then.
Yeah. I mean, I'll probably end up playing both,
Yeah. I mean, this doesn't sound like a Resident Evil 2 where you need to play both stories and it's separate. It sounds like it's just going to be catered maybe then towards one or the other. But that's always what Star Ocean's done so well, is blending those two aspects.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree, dude. Like the one that I played that I really enjoyed, I believe, was Till the End of Time. Was that
the PS2 one? No. What?
Yeah, it was PS2, and I played it on PS4 when they released it on PS4.
Okay.
And then I've dabbled in Star Ocean 1, I've dabbled in Star Ocean 2, and then I've dabbled in oh man, what's the other one? The one that came out on Xbox and then it was on PC.
Let's see, that'd be 4.
Yeah,
I can't remember the subtitles.
I have it on Steam.
Faithlessness and Integrity, or whatever it was, is the PS4 one.
The Last Hope.
Last Hope was 4, which I thoroughly enjoyed the HD remake of it.
Yeah, I have the full HD remaster on Steam, and that's another one that like I really want to get to eventually.
Yeah, I really, really liked it.
Because, but yeah, man, the Divine Force, I'm stoked for it. It looks really good. Even like it's got the character models remind me of Phantasy Star Online, which is not bad for me. But they're cartoony. You know what I mean? But I feel like Star Ocean's always kind of been that way.
It has. Yeah, that realistic cartoony look. But with it being sci-fi, there's no way for it not to be Phantasy Star looking.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
The only thing I'm concerned, like the flying mechanic, I hope it's not something you can just fly endlessly. It kind of looks more like a boost type deal, or just to get you from place to place, which I think would be fun.
Yeah,
it's kind of weird.
That could be fun, or they could do it like, and I hate to bring this game up, but you know, Genshin Impact. When you use your glider, it takes away from your stamina bar. So like you can only glide as much stamina as you have, and when you run out of stamina, if you're not near the ground, you're just gonna fall.
Yeah, or you're climbing a tall mountain. Yeah, no, you can bring up Genshin anytime with me, dude. That's a fine subject for us to talk about.
Yeah, I think it's a great game. You know what I mean? I really do. If you can avoid,
you tell me one other game of that quality that you didn't pay a penny to play.
Yeah, I can't.
No.
Except unless maybe you play the free Final Fantasy 14, whatever that spiel that all the streamers give. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, you get to level 60 or whatever. Yeah, that's probably the only equivalent you can even think of. But I enjoyed my playtimes all the time with Genshin.
As much as I liked like Phantasy Star 2 Online, Phantasy Star Online 2, and New Genesis, Genshin Impact's just a better game. And if you can avoid, like I said, the gacha stuff, and because there are ways to earn that currency.
Oh, I earned all my stuff. I had 5-star characters. You just gotta be patient.
Exactly.
That's not really something people are. So,
which I mean, I have what I call pooping games that are the phone games that you play when you're in the bathroom.
Yep.
And I've avoided spending money on those. So what's any different than?
It's the same deal. No, I mean, I've got my free game on my tablet that I've been playing for like 2 years. It's fun. I haven't paid a penny.
Yeah. Yeah. And usually if you stick with it, you know, you can earn all the stuff that would normally, you know, the whales, as they call them, the people who go and spend thousands and thousands of dollars on those games.
Oh yeah. No, that's the way I play. I don't know. I ain't got that kind of money to waste on stuff.
No, not at all.
I got real games I want to buy.
Yes, sir. Well, we've been going about an hour, my good sir. I don't want to keep it too long. Is there anything else that you'd like to touch on?
The only thing I want to say is I have been going through kind of a JRPG renaissance here lately. And it is all because of the beautiful OLED Switch model.
Oh, okay.
Treat yourself. I got me one of those. The new job has one particular perk, and that is some downtime. And so I don't think my boss is listening to this, but yeah, we have break time, and you know, lunch, you get an hour. You only take about 15 minutes to eat. So yeah, I've been playing my Switch, and it's gorgeous. Like that little screen is worth every penny. And so I'm getting near the end of it, got to go back and play my Grandia HD collection.
Oh, nice.
Oh, it looks so good on that little screen. Obviously, these older games, when you play them on a tiny screen like Vita looked, or, you know, I guess Steam Deck would probably be the same deal. Like, they're not stretched out, so they look so good compressed on that tiny screen. And this one I have come to the conclusion I did not play Grandia 1 back in the day, because I don't remember any of this stuff. Yeah, I think I picked it up with 2 and then loved 2 and 3. So, It's been a real treat to go back and play. The dungeons are a nightmare. Oh my goodness. Like old school gaming. I don't know if I can really do it as much anymore, but.
Oh yeah. The constant random battles.
Yeah. Constant, just the dungeons you couldn't see ahead of you, but it was like that overtop isometric viewpoint. So constantly run into enemies. You can't run away because as soon as they see you, they charge at you and ambush you. So you can't see around corner. Like it is really frustrating, but the battle system makes up for everything.
That's what's up, man. You know what I would like to see on that the old OLED screen is and this will never happen because I think it was a Sony property, but Breath of Fire 4. Because
that would be nice.
I remember that game's sprites being so pretty.
Yeah, it would. I really was hoping, because Vita was a success. I was hoping for a Switch size Vita screen with Sony stuff. Oh man, that would have been beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you might be able to somewhat do that with the Steam Deck through nefarious ways.
You could, yeah. I wouldn't recommend it, but
no. We do not condone that here.
No, I guess I don't know what's the smallest OLED TV you could get. Like that would be a really good way to play some of these older games, but I don't even know what that means. Like,
dude,
can you even buy a TV that's under like 55 inches anymore?
We should develop a small CRT looking TV that is an OLED in 4x3.
Oh my gosh.
And we would
that would sell like hotcakes to retro people.
We would make so much money.
Yeah. We should do that.
Trademark JRPG report.
How to play your old JRPGs on a new TV that you want to dig out of your grandma's, attic somewheres.
Yeah.
Oh man, that would be so. Yeah, because I mean, like next is going to be Final Fantasy IX after Xenoblade. I can't wait to play on that. Just that tiny screen makes such a big difference.
Yeah, everybody that I know that has upgraded to that version of the Switch has been like, "Wow, this is a huge difference."
Yeah. I mean, of course, only in handheld, like, or sitting on, because I kind of sit on my desk and play in front of me, but it really has no value when it's hooked up to the TV. But, so it's been kind of fun to explore my roots, and like I've got the new, the next Legend of Heroes, the cross-spell game coming out soon. I've got it for Switch, so I can play on the go like that. So it's been kind of cool to get back to the old school stuff.
Well, awesome, man. I'm glad to hear that. All right. Well, then I guess I'll do the little quick wrap up here at the end.
Yeah, man.
If you would like to give us a follow on Facebook, you can go to facebook.com/the JRPG Report. If Twitter is more your thing, it's at JRPG Report on Twitter. If you would like to join the Patreon and come and hang out with us in Discord and also get to see the Let's Play of me playing Final Fantasy VI at the moment, which was voted on by our wonderful patrons, you can go to patreon.com/JRPG Report. And I would like to give a special shout out to our patrons, Kim C, Jake W, Jordan K, Kularian, Taylor F, Luke C, and Master Loot. You guys rock. And thank you all for listening. If you want to catch me more often, bi-weekly, you can catch me on the Steam Machine Podcast's PC gaming show. And right now, like I said, we're playing through Final Fantasy VII. So if that piques your interest, check us out in about a week and a half. That'll be when the episode's coming out. Other than that, my good sir, I do believe that for old time's sake, you should send us out of this one.
All right, man. Well, thanks for having me. Of course, it's been an absolute pleasure, and thanks everybody for having me back in. It's good to talk to you guys. But until next time, get back out there and level up.
Da-na-na-na-na-na.